Hi, my name is Melody and welcome back to Strawberry Lemon. Today I have a video for y'all that I thought would be kind of fun to do. Hopefully y'all think the same, but it is going to be a video where I take y'all along as I make my character for the Orilium Readathon. And for those of you who don't know, the Orilium Readathon is a magical readathon that is hosted and created by G from Book Rose. Channel will be linked down below. But yeah, this readathon should have its spring equinox next month in April, so I thought in order to prepare for that, I should finally make my character for this readathon. This readathon is really creative. G made a whole world for this readathon. All the characters and world building and everything is just really incredible. And I wanted to join since the beginning, but every time I did try to join in the readathon, I kind of just did like maybe one book or not even one book, so I don't really count that as participating in the readathon. And after a little while, I did feel a little lost about joining this readathon because the world is so complex and everything, and I was just not sure how to join. But G thought of that and recently made a video which is a beginner's guide to this readathon. So yeah, I am going to be following that video and I'm just gonna make my character in preparation for April. And I thought that would be fun, especially for anybody else who needs to make their character as well. We could just all do it together. So first off, we have to decide our certification. Since I count myself as new to this readathon, even though I've tried to join multiple times, I will say I am a novice. The next thing we have to do is choose our background, which will either be urban or wilding.
The next little bit is the background. So we have background and you have two choices here. You can either be urban, meaning that you grew up in, a big city, or you can be wildling, which just means that you grew up somewhere, in the wild. That doesn't mean you're uncivilized, it just means that you come from more like a camping, small, very small community. Maybe you are an earthling, and that's very common in earthlings. It's a common choice, doesn't have to be. Again, you can choose whatever you want.
For this, I think I am going to go with wilding. I am a city gal in real life. I was born in the city, been living in the city. But yeah, I think I will go with wilding for this. It just seems like fun to do a little something different for my character. Next up, we have to choose our province or continent. So I have some notes I took from reading the manuals and stuff about each continent or province, and for this we have four choices. The first choice is Etheria, and Etheria is the greenest continent that we have. We have a lot of forest and wildlife, but it is also known as the most haunted continent with lots of ruins and tombs, but it is also in a perpetual spring season. So sounds nice, but it's also haunted. The next continent that we have is Dark Meadow, and Dark Meadow is known for its harsh cold winds, snowy thunderstorms, and shadow-charged air. The cities in Dark Meadow are all underground. They're in crystal caves and tunnels, which sounds really cool. And there is the Great Underworld Library here as well, and it is also home to the dragons, which is really cool. The next city that we have is Carador, and Carador is full of magical energy. It is also full of fun and entertainment, and no town in Carador exists that does not have a minimum of 2 inns, a playhouse, and its own bardic college. There is also a major magic academy in Carador. The next continent that we have is Dayrune, and is the largest continent that we have. It is full of giant cities with a lot of scientific facilities and has the most advanced and efficient travel system, which are sand ships, which sounds really cool. But after pondering this, I was kind of thinking I was in between Dark Meadow or Carador. But Dark Meadow seems really gloomy. If you're outside in the world, it seems really harsh just weather-wise. So I think I am going to go with Carador because there's magic, there's a lot of entertainment, pubs, and all of that. So it just seems like a fun time. So I think for that, I am going to go with Carador. Next up, we get to choose our heritage, and the choices that we have are humans, elves, earthlings, Iltarians, Skymorn, and dwarves. And And I don't know, I think I will want to be, I was debating between Skyborn and an Earthling, but in the end, I think I want to be a fire Earthling because fire just seems really cool. I do want to control fire, and I am an Aries, so I am a fire sign, so that kind of works out there. And it also says that flame flickers at the end of their hair, and that just sounds really, really cool to have like flames and fire at the end of my hair that's just there and doesn't burn me. And you can just control fire, which seems really cool. And some of the characteristics of an Earthling is that they are quick to commit to a newfound family. And I love the found family trope in books, so I feel like that fits really well with me and what I want my character to be like. And it also says that they are fierce and a real force to be reckoned with, which I really want my character to be. I want my character to be strong and unafraid and yeah, just cool. And it also says patience is not a virtue they're known for, but decisiveness and determination are. It'll be nice to have patience, but honestly, it's okay. We can go with decisiveness and determination. I'm cool with my character having that. So yeah, I think Fire Earthling it will be. Although the Skymorn did seem really, really cool, I think you're purple if you're a Skymorn, which seemed pretty cool as well. But we're gonna go with Fire Earthling. The next step is to figure out the lunar phase at our birth, and the options are unnoted, eclipse, blood moon, or alignment. And I think I'm gonna go with unnoted. Unnoted just seems really cool. It seems kind of mysterious not to know. Maybe I'll figure out something about my past because the mystery aspect. And yeah, that is the character part. And then next up, step 2 is to figure out which guild we are in, which I'm actually really excited to do for this one because there's like a cute little questionnaire and stuff that we can do for this. And yeah, let me pull that up. Okay, editing Melody here. So initially I read all of the questions and answers for this quiz kind of thing, but G actually made a video going over all of the questions and answers and going into further explanations and stuff into things. So I actually thought it would be kind of fun to do like a reaction video kind of thing to the choices and that video. So yeah, the reactions of me picking my choices and everything will still be from earlier when I initially did the quiz, but I was super focused on like just reading everything out loud. I didn't really give my thoughts on everything, so I thought this would be a little more fun and hopefully y'all don't mind that. And I honestly don't even remember most of the questions anymore because of how creative everything in this readathon is, so I think this should still be pretty fun. But yeah, let's get started.
I grew up in the 90s. If you are my age or older, you surely will remember the good old quizzes of personality type being in the magazines, you know. Which of the Charmed sisters are you? What type of dog are you? I guess this was BuzzFeed before the internet. And it was good old pen and paper. And that is what we're gonna do today as well. So again, all of these printables will be linked in the G Drive afterwards, so you can do that on your own time. But if you're watching this with me, I thought it would be really fun to go through it together, and it will be naturally a bit easier for me to explain bits as we go. So in the first instance, you will need to remember or select what choice you made. And then we will also take a piece of paper and a pen. So I'll give you a second to do that. And we're going to go and assign each answer to a shape. So we have a circle, a diamond, a triangle, and a square.
Oopsies, I think in my initial recording of this, I thought it was a rectangle, but I think a square is also a rectangle, so that kind of counts.
Question number 1 was to do with the ashthorn tree, this wonderful, amazing, marvelous, massive tree that emits whispers and is covered in unknown runes, glyphs, and symbols. And you, as someone who's very hungry for knowledge, it's very tempting, but you know for a fact you need a permit to study this particular tree. But there's no one really around to stop you. So for your character, again, not necessarily you, your character, now option A was that you respect nature and guidelines put in place. So you took it in, admire it for a little bit, and move on. Option B, you knew not to mess with anything, any type of writing that you don't know the origins of, but you still note down a couple of them as you pass the tree by in your parchment so you can study it later. Because
Honestly, I feel like in real life, I would probably choose option B.
It's just too tempting not to. Option C was that the writing is not really what intrigued you the most. It's the whispers. You wonder what sort of stories they can tell, and then you come back during the night, sit down next to the tree to meditate and align with it and see if you can figure out what these voices and what stories they're wanting to tell.
The whispers might actually have creeped me out, if I'm being honest here.
Option D, your personal belief and your philosophy is that magic of all sorts is supposed to be shared. That's where it's supposed to coexist with everyone. So you also come back after dark and you touch the tree. You try to siphon the magic to learn it, because obviously you will need it, and also to honor it by making it still present and relevant.
So for this one, I think I'm gonna go with B, maybe? I'm gonna go with choice D. I feel like for my characters, since they are an earthling, they are connected to nature and stuff, and this is a tree. And it says forbidden to touch without a permit. It doesn't say forbidden to touch at all. So my character is just breaking a little rule. I do want my character to be a little rebellious. If it was forbidden at all, then maybe I wouldn't touch it. But since people can touch it with a permit, I think I will go choice D for my character.
Moving on to the most terrifying of places, the Mist of Solitude. So this is a mist that isolates you entirely, so much so that when you actually inhale the little droplets of the mist, it shows you your own deepest, terrible fear that you might even not know that you have. You're fully aware that the droplets is what's causing the hallucinations, and what is your character doing to pass this mist? Option A, that you transmute the droplets into solid marble balls that fall to the ground, and then you can pass through that narrow passageway that you just made for yourself, constantly transmuting the droplets into solid state. Option B is that you took the time to analyze and actually overcome your fear, so you can still see the hallucinations, but they don't affect you that much, and you can push through them and actually escape the mist still. Option C is that you conjure a dust devil, which obviously is a term for a little twist of the wind, a little small tornado. However, I imagine it as a little, almost like a goblin with a broom, because I just think that would be fun. Just swatting away the mist out of your way as you walk. Or option D is that you try to calm yourself and also minimize the input. You close your eyes, but you touch the ground with your hands and your feet and connect with nature and let the ground guide you out.
I feel like for Earthling, maybe that one, but I think that's too safe for my character. I feel like I want to do C. I conjured a dust devil to help disperse the mist, which allowed me to pass. That sounds really, really cool. What is a dust devil? Like, yes, D, C it is.
Next up, we visited the ruins of the sky. However, whilst those were marvelous and very impactful, we found a hooded, shadowed figure that was standing all weird and unnatural, and it looked like it was almost broken and limp. But you can't really make out too much about the figure, but you get a sense that it's not supposed to be here. But what is your first instinct? Is it A, to attempt and slip near their conscious mind and get their intentions and their state, so get a read on them? Option B was that they could be injured. They look like they could be injured, so you scan their body for any injuries that might need healing.
My first thought is that this person seems sus.
C is that you don't really care about the figure because these ruins are such a magical mix of nature and people that you're still preoccupied with this amazing astronomy mural, and you really could care less about.
That is pretty awesome, but also a good way to get killed if the stranger is not a friendly.
The person. And option D is that you are immediately suspicious and your first instinct is to protect yourself and the group, so you activate a glyph of protection to do so.
D. Even though I want my character to be kind of brave and bold, they do need to care about the group, and I feel like that's the smart choice, so D it is.
Next up was the Obsidian Falls, this beautiful collection of waterfalls that are entirely black during the day but are iridescent of so many colors when the moonlight hits them during the night. So that was again all nice and good, but you do realize that when you were fighting the figure in the previous stop, they pricked you and they pricked your whole party and you are feeling very much poisoned. You're
So they were not friendly.
experiencing all of the symptoms and you're about to lose consciousness. So is everyone else, so no one's going to help you. You're on your own. What do you do? Option A is you look for a herbal remedy. Plants around you and you know that there's always something you can do because you know your plants so well.
Do you have enough time, really, to find the plants and make a remedy, though?
Option B is that you look for the first aid kit and then tinker with it and change it and construct a magical apparatus that tests your blood and kind of filters it throughout again to take the poison out.
That's even more complex than the first option.
Option C, you gather yourself, you focus your mind, and you use a trick that you can't repeat often, but it's a good one. You jump through time to the exact moment in time where you got pricked and you avoid the prick. You can't change anything else, but you change that bit, which
That's pretty cool.
obviously leads you in this particular moment to not be poisoned. And option D is that you grit your teeth and you ask for a healing magic. You summon some restorative magic. It takes longer. It's not a pleasant experience. It's thorough work and you know 100% that it's going to work. And pain is to be mortal after all, and they like you to remember that.
Is my character gonna be a smarty that will find a herbal remedy? I'm between C and D, I feel like. D sounds painful but sounds more realistic. C just sounds really, really cool. I think I'll go with D. It sounds like that means my character will have good pain tolerance. So I guess we'll go with that.
The very last bit was the visit to the Tower of Rumination. I really hope you guys enjoyed the character that was waiting for you there. I know I did. And when you entered that round chamber with the pillars, you saw 4 extremely rare, very valuable scrolls that held knowledge in their particular schools of magic or topics. Whilst there were 4 of them, you are of course only allowed to take 1. So which one did you choose? Was it A, Scroll of Lore, which is your magical history as well as...
Oh, lore is pretty cool.
...of old. Scroll of Shapeshifting.
Ooh, that's pretty cool too.
Scroll of Inscription, which is magical writing on different objects or things and making them and imbuing them with magical writing. And option D is Scroll of Illusions.
B, Scroll of Shapeshifting. That sounds really, really cool. Okay, and then we use our answer choices and use that to figure out which guild we are. So I will do that really quick and let us see. Okay, so I ended up with rectangle, rectangle, diamond, rectangle, circle. So I think that means I am rectangle. And a rectangle says, congratulations, you have been invited to join the archivists. Okay, so I found the doc that describes what an archivist is. It says the archivists are a guild of lore keeping. They are the guardians of knowledge, both lost and forgotten. It seems like we go on missions and adventures trying to recover pieces of ancient lore. Also, archivists can make a pact with a deity, which seems really, really cool, and they can channel that deity's magic and ask for help. It also says that we are more likely to be granted access to the great libraries of Aldea, which is nice. It seems like this is a great fit for a bookworm. And let's see, it says unique calling is Godseer, unique gift, a pact with a god, unique conduits, pole arm or bone, guild specialty, conjuration, restoration, demonology, and lore. Demonology and lore sounds really, really cool. And then guild access, temple archive. And yeah, I'm really happy with my assignment. I feel like an archivist seems really cool. We get the lore, we get to make a pact with the deity, and we get access to a library. It just seems really cool, and I'm pretty happy with that assignment. And next up, we have step 3, which is gear up, and it is choosing a conduit. And let's see, I remember G saying that there are conduits that everybody can have, no matter what guild.
Choices for everybody. You do not have to be in a particular guild to pick one of these. Anyone can pick them. So We have feather, a spellbook, a staff, and a wand.
So a staff or a wand seems pretty cool, but archivists can also choose between a pole arm and a bone. And I actually have no idea what a pole arm is, so let me Google that really quick. If I'm Googling this correctly, a pole arm seems like a wooden kind of stick with the weapon part at the end. So it could be an axe, it could be a mace, hammers, spears, halberds, and yeah, it's a weapon, it seems like, at least according to this website and some other things I was looking at. And I think I will go with that. I think my conduit will be a pole arm. That seems really cool, and it seems like it'll help with combat and stuff like that. So practical as well. And I think those are all of the steps that we have to take. Oh wait, never mind. I am forgetting one more step, and the last step is...
Second thing we pick is also related to your guild. So this is a guild gift they give you. It's basically an initiation. They teach you special magic that is, secret and exclusive to the guild. In the legacy section, you'll see guilds, and it's listed, if you're in this guild, you can pick this. If you're in this guild, you can pick that. So let me write it up.
Oh, while I was looking at the to figure out what legacy the archivist can choose from, there's a picture of a polearm in the dock. So yeah, it looks like a spear kind of weapony stabby thingy. And for legacies for archivists, it seems like we can make a pact with one of the gods in this world, and we have, I believe, 6 gods that we can choose from. So I will look through the gods and tell you which one I am going to choose. The 3 gods that I'm most interested in is Avaris, which is Phoenix god of the sky and riches. There is air and fire elemental magic, but I am a fire earthling, so I wasn't sure about that. But also you can heal yourself and others with restorative flames, but I feel like a fire earthling might be able to do that too because they control fire already, so I might do a pass on that. The other one that I was looking at was Astra, which is goddess of dawn and new beginnings. And Astra, what caught me about this goddess was that you can conjure a temporary familiar. I think one of the other guilds, when you could gear up, they had the choice of a familiar, and I was like, that's so cool, but it's a temporary familiar, so I feel like I would get attached and then they would have to like go away again, and I feel like that would just make me sad. So the last one that I was thinking of was Covis, who is the god of war. So you can learn and master all combat related spells and incantations much faster and easier than other people. And it also seems that patrons of Covis are gifted with an ability to rally a crowd, influence the weak of will, and encourage the undecided. So I don't know how I feel about those abilities, but I do want to learn the combat spells and incantations for my character, so I think I will go with that. And yeah, I think those are all of the steps that we have to take in making our character. So that is officially my character. I haven't named my character yet. I will work on that. I will think about it. Maybe I won't even name my character. We'll see. But yeah, my character, I guess, is a fire earthling who is part of the Archivist Guild, who has a polearm as a conduit, and is a patron of Covis, the god of war. And yeah, that actually seems pretty fun, pretty cool. If you are making your character as well or have made your character already, I would really love to know what your character is and also your answers to the questions in the questionnaire to pick your guild. But yeah, I think that is all I have for you today. Hopefully this video won't be too long, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's the first of this kind of video that I'm making, so yeah, really hope you did like it, and I am probably gonna do a TBR and maybe a reading vlog depending how well I do on this readathon. So if that might be something you're interested in seeing me doing, please consider subscribing maybe. And yeah, I am gonna end the video there. Thank you so much for being here, and I will hopefully see everyone in the next one. Bye!
It's for the people that be on the down. Well, let me bring you up. We're gonna shut them down. Cause I am sick of it. Man, I just need it now. So I just kill the competition. I'ma take it down.